I'm ready now.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect? Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Beatty. And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Alrighty. We made it to Friday. Welcome to a Friday edition of the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay and Big E and Timko, and the whole gang is here tonight. And we made it to Friday, thank God. Woo! What happened to your hand? You beating off too hard, weren't you? Son of a bitch. Were you pulling a knee?
Slightly cut it.
You did?
I'm fine. Don't worry.
No, it looks bad. It looks like you were...
Just a little tiny rope burn.
Tiny rope burn. Is
I'm
that what
fine.
you're calling your thing now? Little rope?
A little tiny rope.
Aerobics is dangerous, Jay. I don't know,
Doing
man.
some stiff calisthenics, Jay?
Fuck off. All of you.
I was reading recently about I think it was a snowplow that was wiping the road clean and wiped out a couple joggers.
Yeah, I knew you'd see that.
I mean, I could. This is one of those stories I could do every day about the dangers of exercise in general. Beth was telling me about a guy who was jogging, dropped dead at the finish line of the marathon he was running. I mean, it's
Why
a
risk
risk
it?
I'm not willing to take. Jay.
Why risk
I'm
it?
just not. So, and then I see, what appears to be
A slight little rope burn on my hand.
some would say that, others would say critical wounds to your hands, and I don't know which it is, but I'm not willing to take that risk. Anyway, welcome to the Friday edition of the Detroit Cast, and dare I say a big show today. We got a burglar. Well, I don't know if burglar is the right word. He left stuff instead of taking stuff, which is odd for those guys. Usually if someone breaks into a place, he takes stuff, not leaves stuff.
Turd burglar.
Yeah, so we'll discuss that. A pretty ugly divorce, and I do mean ugly. We got to get that call into the National Action Network.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're stuck in neutral. We're just kind of spinning our tires. We need some help, and I think the Rev Al is the guy to call. And I don't know if he's working now or what, but we'll try and blow in a call to them like we planned on the other day. We'll see if we can get anywhere with that. Also, men living longer. E, what would you be willing to do if I could guarantee you 20 years of extra life?
20 years?
20 years, my man.
He doesn't want to live
Right.
longer unless he's making a ton of cash and getting laid.
Yeah,
every
what
day.
is the quality of life I'm going to be living?
It's yours to choose, my man. It's 20. I'm giving you 20 years. Take it or leave it.
What would I be willing to do?
Yeah, you got to meet my rules, but
What are the rules?
I'll tell you later. You got to think about it. What are you willing to do for 20 extra years?
I don't know. I really don't know.
All right.
You know what?
I'll give you my rules, and we'll see if you're up for playing ball.
Okay.
We'll talk about a Nosage Nagget Narb.
God. There was a No-Sag reset today. Somebody emailed today and said they met somebody from high school. We went to high school with, and he threw out No-Sag Nagget Narb, and the guy just started chuckling.
No way. Who was it? Do I know him?
Yeah, you know him. I'll tell you later.
Write it down. Don't get it caught on camera.
It's not like.
Oh, Middlemas. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason's great. He's a good dude. Who saw him?
Porn star.
Really?
Apparently the porn star works with him.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. He was
Small
like, hey,
world, man.
yeah, exactly. Didn't you guys go to high school with them? Or didn't you go to high school with those guys? He's like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And so porn star showed him a picture of No-Sag because he took at Ed's house.
Jason would know.
Yeah, at Ed's house, he took a picture of my school ID.
No way. That you carry with you all the time.
So he flashed it to Middlemas. He's like,
awesome.
oh yeah, I remember him.
How could you forget?
Middle Nugget Narb.
I love it. We got to get him in here for an in studio one day.
Yeah, we do.
Wouldn't that be awesome? No-Sag, if you're listening, call us. Call Jay. Happy birthday to Little Oon. As we're live at 9:30 at night, this will, post for tomorrow morning as a Friday show, but we're technically live on, which seems a little disrespectful, honestly, for us to be working on Kim Jong-un's birthday. But it sounds like he's not celebrating all that much. We'll get into that. The French and the terrorism shit going on over there. Boy, oh boy, what a outpouring from all over the world, really. Cartoonists are coming out of the woodwork.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Excellent.
doing tons of cartoons, just ripping these guys. But the more you look, and as of us live right now doing this, they still haven't found two of the guys. One of the guys, there was initially 3 people on the lam.
Right. One gave up, right? 18-year-old.
18-year-old, and claims he was in school. He's senior in high school.
Oh, God.
Yeah, claims he was in class. And it's like, that's why. And I tend to, like, my first initial reaction is to kind of believe him, like, in a sense, knowing absolutely nothing about. I think if you were involved in that level with those individuals, this 34-year-old and 32-year-old, now they're saying that this was maybe the getaway driver. But if he goes and turns himself in right away, that doesn't seem like a very, very terrorist thing to do.
No, it doesn't.
To turn yourself in and go, wait a minute, I got an alibi like a motherfucker. I was in class all day. What are you talking about? But obviously, if they're releasing a name in public, they had to have had some sort of information, right? You wouldn't think they'd be that irresponsible to release the name of just some random Muslim kid.
Target on his back.
Yeah. So anyway, by the way, other news came out today that remember that cop we saw laying on the street?
Yeah.
Where the guy just walked up and plugged him in the head?
Yep.
Muslim. Yeah. Muslim killing a Muslim. Nice. It's incredible, man. It's just incredible. And where do we go from here? Where does this type of shit end? You won't believe the amount of people in Paris that are on the lookout for this dude. Are these two guys? Tens of thousands of law enforcement. Tens of thousands of officers have fanned out throughout France today in a nationwide effort to track down these suspects. It's being felt in small villages across the countryside as tactical teams have launched massive search operations. There are already 35,000 members of the French force and paramilitary police that have been ordered into action, 10,000 of whom are weaving throughout the capital city as we speak. Now an additional 1,000 troops have been ordered into service as backup. An additional 50,000 civil servants have been tasked with being on watch for suspicious activity. They're being asked to guard public transportation hubs, preserve public spaces, and as all these tens of thousands of demonstrators are coming out in a show of support, they're trying to protect them all. In total, they've got 88,000 government agents and employees involved in the search for these two suspects.
You think they're in the country?
Yeah.
So?
Yeah, I do. They fucked, like, as good as they were, this was clearly something that was trained for, worked out. And they, when you see the cop car, these guys are firing semi-automatic, which just means basically that you pull the trigger. An automatic would go brrr, semi, you have to pull the trigger every time. But when people use those semi-automatic, whether it's an AR-15 or I can't remember which one they had, but it was one of those that can, as fast as you can pull the trigger, you can pull off bullets. But they're super powerful. And when that police car they show these guys around the corner and they peek their head out and they see this cop car and it looks like someone's in it and they're just like ba-da-da-da-da. Most people that are untrained in shooting those things just go ba-da-da-da-da-da, and they shoot up. The power of it the kick of the gun will fire up as you shoot. You can tell someone knows what they're doing when they're like da-da-da, da-da-da, and then get control of it again, da-da-da. And you can tell by the pattern of bullets in the front windshield of this car that these were not just random guys, out trying to tear shit up.
So they went to terrorist training school with the monkey bars and all that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did the lunges?
Dude, I've heard people mention the monkey bars.
Have they?
Yes. On the news.
The freaking monkey bar. And the lunges.
Not unlike the Gab's new Live Fit place that just opened, her aerobics center. You guys have...
It's not aerobics.
Well, whatever. I whatever it is, either way. Live Fit, Live Fit, whatever. Gab's aerobics center. That's a place where you'd find ropes and monkey bars and that type of stuff. She's not training. She wouldn't just train anybody, right?
No.
If the wrong person came in, she'd single them out.
Of course, yeah.
It seems kind of racist, but whatever.
Yeah, those two. She wouldn't train those two. No way.
Absolutely. Turned away at the door. as they should be.
Wow, they look like brothers, don't they?
They are.
I know. It's amazing, though. They look like they could be the same person.
Yeah. And they said also signs that they that this was well planned, well thought out, and was just how calm they were. You know, by
well, then they probably had a good escape plan, right? Why do you think they're still in the country?
Well, because
you think they locked it down in time?
No, because there are reports that they robbed a gas station hours later.
Awesome. Good move.
Smart. Yeah. Idiots.
Sort of like the Boston bomber. You know, they just reemerged and there's like this new crime spree the night after. Remember that?
Yeah, that's
Kill
right.
the MIT officer
Yep.
and rob a 7-Eleven and they're
Yeah.
off, you know?
Yeah. Well, these guys, and they haven't said for sure, but the clerk is like, it was them. These are the guys that robbed me. They robbed him for gas and snacks. So their getaway plan didn't include a full tank of gas and food. So they're
High-Hos and Slim Jims.
That's right. How long are you going to get off on that? That just makes me believe that they never meant to get out alive.
Right.
Maybe. Right. And who knows? But they said they had one car, they abandoned that car, hijacked another. Maybe that's where they had the gas issue. The Kawachi brothers and this third suspect, the 18-year-old Hamid Murad, he's in police custody. They're still interviewing him. But most of the focus is on this 51 square miles of forest. And that's where their efforts are. So they're zeroing in on that region, 50 miles northeast of Paris. Police searched the apartment, and we saw this if you were watching the news Thursday morning early. They all of a sudden, these guys in like riot gear zero in on this apartment, and it was like, okay, they obviously are smelling something here, and they went in, and so far nothing. Either they got away from there or what, but you can't. I just have a feeling that when this airs tomorrow morning, there's going to be breaking news already that something's happened.
Yeah, you do what you can, Mike.
You do what you can. So I apologize.
You bring the news as you know it.
That's right. That's all we can do, right?
As you know it, and as you speculate it to be.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of when you think of the beheading videos we saw back mostly a few months ago with
Ali G?
Ali G.
Yeah.
What do you remember about Ali G?
Well, the guy was a former rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had the British accent, and that's why we named him Ali G.
Exactly. Well, details are emerging today that say one of the suspects, the older one, Sharif Kawachi, the 32-year-old, I guess he was the younger one. He was briefly featured in a 2005 French television documentary on aspiring rap musician.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Is that like street cred, trying to be tough guy? Like I'm a badass rapper or something? Like not
big on the European rap scene. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I imagine it's very similar to the rap scene here. I don't know. He's got quite a rap sheet, if you will, to go with it.
If he was here, he'd go, oh!
Where did he go?
I don't know. He just gets up and leaves the show?
Yeah, has he had enough?
Hey, you son of a bitch! I don't know.
I asked him to call someone, so maybe he's calling them. You would think he would do that at a break, but whatever. He does things his own way. So he goes to jail. At one point, he told a French court that the scandal at he was arrested on terror charges as he was doing this aspiring rap thing, and he was put in prison for 1.5 years. The reason he says that he was involved at all was because he was so upset about Abu Ghraib and the images coming out of there, and that fired him up. And then he goes to jail, and of course he meets people just like him who are radicalized, and he meets a mentor, a religious leader, convinced him to give up rapping to prepare himself for jihad abroad. Wonderful. When you think that in prisons they've got cameras and recordings of people, you lose so much of your freedoms in jail. You know, we always hear about phone calls being tapped and you listen to them. How is it that in a prison in America or in Europe, you could have people, terrorist groups linking up in there and then devising plans and getting more radical?
Dude, there's so many people in there. How are you going to monitor all that shit, though, you know?
Yeah, but you would just think that, I don't know, get it done. If you can wrap 80,000 members and have them on a search.
Throw them all in solitary. How about that?
There you go.
Feed them maggots.
Yeah, I'm with you except for the maggots part. That's just cruel. I'm not saying they need filet mignon, but
filet mignon, yeah,
filet mignon, but maggots is an extreme that I don't think we need to go to. But while in prison, he met Jamal Begal,
awesome,
a man who would become his mentor, who was serving a 10-year sentence for a plot to instigate an attack on the U.S. Embassy in Paris. Kouachi was again imprisoned in 2010 and accused of terror-related crimes, but was released due to insufficient evidence. Now officials in France say that his older brother, Saeed, should be considered, both of them should be considered seriously armed and dangerous. And 12 dead now, including a couple policemen. They appeared well-trained. Yeah, we've talked about all that, but
just unarmed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, these guys are going to go down in a blaze of glory for sure. They better be ready.
And I've heard people talk about that too, that this could be like, it just seems out of character for the acts that they pulled off and the way that how calm and cool they were, and then not speeding away, but kind of carefully driving away, blending in with traffic, and then getting on the road and out of town just seemed way too professional, if you will, to be doing something as dumb as then robbing a fucking store and
really
taking gas and ho-hos. That seems very amateurville. And so there are people out there that say this could be absolutely what they want, kind of laying breadcrumbs to help find them and trying to, now you strap yourself with vests and take out as many as you can as they converge on you.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this plays out.
But they might have wired some house or apartment or something.
Yeah.
Waiting there. Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows? But
it's going to be an ugly end for sure.
Yeah, where does this go? When does this type of shit end? I mean, is there any chance? We can bitch about it all we want, but until religious leaders in the Middle East start stepping up and saying what needs to be said about these radical groups, does anything change?
No.
It doesn't, right?
No.
Why won't they do that?
Everybody is real reluctant to say that it's the Muslim faith that leads to this. It's always this, it's this separate radicalized thing. I don't know much about it, so I can't speak authoritatively on it. But
yeah, but Jay, what do we know?
Yeah, my understanding is that there's support in the Quran for, what do you call it? Their religion through force, right? What's the word for that? I don't know why it's escaping me, but
yeah, whatever. I know what you're talking about. No, it seems like, because people automatically go quickly to the Islamophobes. Oh, you're Islamophobes. And when you see a Christian do something and go off the deep end, nobody goes, oh, all Christians are blah, blah, blah. But there's a big difference between what's going on when you get some whack job religious figure. Of course, there are whack jobs in every religion. There are extremists in every religion. The difference is these people are very, very vocal and on camera saying, this is what we're doing in the name of God. These are all acts done. They're all screaming, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, as they're firing and cutting people's heads. I mean, this is done in the name of this religion, where you don't see people going into a school and mowing down a bunch of kids going, God is great, Jesus loves all, and then mowing them all down, where you can go, what the fuck is going on with these Christians? But you better believe if that was going on, you would have heads of Christian groups coming out and going, what the fuck? Maybe not what the fuck, but they would be coming out and absolutely going nuts about that. I got to believe that.
Yeah, I think you do have some Muslim leaders doing that. I mean, particularly.
Not loud enough.
Oh, I know. And there's too many leaders who are, as you say, kind of on the jihad kick. And
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's interesting to look at and go, well, what Muslim-based country is really doing well?
Yeah.
When you step back and go, how does this work in the grand scheme of things? How are the people being treated that are being in Muslim, that are living in Muslim-led countries? I don't know. It seems like a bit of a dead end to me, but
yeah, agreed. To each their own. To each their own, right? I don't know, man. I just wish there was a much louder voice of opposition to this type of shit.
Yeah, and I don't mean to say like, Islam is evil or Muslims are evil.
That's what I heard.
I think
but whatever.
I think there is evil in this world, and so I think it'll always be here.
Of course.
I don't think you can ever get rid of that. I think this is an incarnation of that, this whole jihadist bullshit.
Yeah.
So, how do you get rid of it? I don't think you do. I think it'll always be here just in some form. And this is the popular form right now, I guess. It's spreading across the world.
Well, I don't know how much uglier it gets, but it
like I said before, though, dude, I said it months ago. I think we need to, as a country, take this very seriously and not just, plug holes and then pull out and then plug more holes and pull out. I think we need to go over there and take care of shit.
Yeah.
Like ISIS, don't hear about it that much in the news. It's kind of taking the back burner. It's still festering. It's still a huge problem.
Yeah.
I think we need to put troops over there. And I think we all need to accept that a lot of our kids are going to die fighting this war, but it's going to be a multi-generational effort to get rid of what is there now. Yeah, it'll spring back up because evil springs back up. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a bit like a whack-a-mole game, but it's the world as it is. And I think everybody needs to accept that as Americans, and it's hard to do because we want to sit over here isolated and enjoy the prosperity that we have. Yeah. And kind of leave that for a different time or a different generation.
You mean be a leader?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially what you're asking of the United States is to be the world leader that they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the role this country has assumed in the world. That's our place in the world. And as world leader, we're not perfect. Yeah, we string some people up by their balls occasionally when they don't tell us what we want. That shit happens, and I'm willing to turn a blind eye to that. I got to be honest. If I was on the front lines, I probably wouldn't be so nice. We know how Officer Walters operates. General Walters wouldn't be much better. Got to be honest with you, Jay. I think it'd be very hard not to take that shit personally, but on the whole, I just have a problem. I wish someone like Bush was in office almost, who didn't fuck around. Like, hate him as you may, and not like his beliefs. I'll give him this: you didn't fuck with President Bush. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he was willing to make the hard decision and go over and start whacking shit.
And he didn't give a shit what his approval rating was. It was, people will laugh when you talk about a leader, but honestly, in times of crisis, he was the perfect leader on 9/12/2001.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had the balls to do something that wasn't necessarily politically expedient at the time, whether he was being led by the nose by others, but whoever it was had a vision of leadership and a strong one that I think has to be put back into effect to some extent. I think we need to have a presence over there.
Yeah.
And we can't just pretend it's going to go away.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's growing by leaps and bounds every day.
We know this isn't just a France problem that's happening right now. This could just as easily happen in New York.
Yeah, and it has happened in New York. And they're praising what's going on in Paris. This is God's will. It's just, ugh. Hey, terrible story out of Florida. Did you hear about this?
Is this the bridge issue?
Yeah, bridge issue. This is insane, dude. Father, I just can't imagine something like this. His name's John Chuck.
Come on, man.
John Jonchuk. 25.
Look at him. Doesn't look like he did anything wrong.
Nope. So the story goes that he was acting strangely, was interviewed by police earlier in the day. He wanted a lawyer. He was speeding. At first, cops see him going like 100. And they're like, holy shit. They turn around and kick on the lights. He stops on a bridge and in front of the cop, goes over to the passenger door, opens the door, and walks his 5-year-old daughter out of the car, and then proceeds to chuck her off the bridge. And then
just a traffic stop.
And then get back in his car and take off as the cop is just like, oh, frigid water. It took him like an hour to find her body.
What state is this in?
Florida.
Of course.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
He didn't realize it was such a sudden decision act.
Well, I don't know. I mean, who knows? Why is he doing 100? It was a 60-foot bridge he chucked her off.
Look at that bridge.
Can you imagine, dude? I mean, I can't even fathom
5-year-old.
5-year-old.
Ugh.
Look at her. Look at her. She's adorable.
Yeah, she is.
I guess
fairy outfit on.
Yep. The car seat was recovered in the bay.
It's too bad those aren't real fairy wings.
What do you mean? She could be a fairy.
He was separated from Phoebe's mother, Michelle Kerr, who has MS, following 6 years together, during which police were called multiple times for domestic violence issues.
Yeah, so get back at your wife by throwing your daughter off a bridge.
Right. Both had
Dick.
arrest records. He had full custody of Phoebe. Last month, he filed a restraining order against Kerr, which was denied. They've been living, it's just unbelievable. He was seen speeding. This is at midnight too. He's got this little girl out at midnight doing 100. It's just incredible. The Dick Meisner Bridge. The
I feel
officer,
like this happened not too long ago, like a month ago.
a mother did it. I don't
Yeah.
ever in my life remember a story of just a father doing that though.
No. Bridge chucking.
Yeah, the officer heard the girl screaming as she fell to the. I know. He's been charged with first-degree murder, aggravated assault with a motor vehicle, on a law enforcement officer, and aggravated fleeing and eluding police. So, nice.
There you go, John. What's his name? Chuck.
John Chuck.
John Chuck.
Look at her. Oh, look at her.
Oh, she's cute.
Yeah, terrible. Monsters, as you said, Jay. Evil abound. Evil is everywhere. What are you
Walking
gonna do?
amongst us.
I just can't imagine, like, everything about being a parent. From every parent I've ever met, is you do anything you can to protect your kids from the evils of the world, and then to see it a father. Whatever, man.
Throw him a bone and say he was severely mentally ill. I don't know.
Even then, delete.
Yep.
Chuck him off a bridge. Fuck him. As we mentioned, Kim Jong-un's birthday this year was depending on when you're listening, it's either today or last night.
Mhm.
But
What's little Un? 30? 32.
He
All right.
is. Well, nobody knows for sure. They
Yeah, right.
they think he's 32. It's a heavily guarded secret in North Korea for some reason. Who knows why?
There's
Exactly.
some prophecy or something, about
Well, their
what
country.
the supreme being can. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it has to do with the fact that he is so young, that there are senior members in cabinet that
Okay.
that he doesn't want to show celebrating his birthday party to.
Gotcha.
Something like that. It was just a year ago, though, that Rodman
Oh yeah, he was there and he sang "Happy Birthday."
sang
right?
Happy Birthday in his deep, stupid voice.
God, that really happened.
It did. There have been.
Look at him sitting there. They're in the crowd at that weird basketball game.
Do we have audio of that of Rodman singing that horrible rendition of Happy Birthday to him, which I think was kind of spontaneous. It was the first time the date was confirmed at an event with Un in presence, being present. Here it was.
Happy birthday to you.
Wow, that was weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Happy birthday.
He doesn't have to do stopping and bowing. So different from America.
So bizarre. Look at that. It's like a different world.
It is.
They're playing and everyone's just sitting there.
Yeah, and just the structure of the arena and everything. It's so strange.
They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They've never done anything like this. His low-pitched rendition of Happy Birthday was shown, they said, incessantly on state TV after the event, and quickly became a joke among North Koreans who sing the song in the same style.
Happy birthday
To ya, happy birthday
to you.
That's according to this guy Simon Cockerell of Koryo Tours. He's made over 140 trips to North Korea. And all the times I've been to North Korea, that is the single most bizarre thing I have witnessed. He was among the 8,000 people at the stadium for that. It wasn't a birthday party until Rodman started singing. There were no signs, no decorations at the basketball event that indicated it was the anniversary of Kim's birth at all.
Oh, no.
Yeah. For years, the only clues about the young dictator's age came from the testimony of his father, Kim Jong-il's chef, who remembers Kim Jong-un as a child and says he was born in 1983. That date is consistent with Rodman's revelation in September 2013 that Kim was 30. State media does not broadcast any birthday celebration, with an evening program showing Un attending a shooting contest. I don't know what that is, but
so Rodman let the cat out of the bag,
so to speak. Yeah, kind of.
Wow.
Anniversaries and birthdays are important milestones in the North Korean calendar. The April 15th birthday of President Kim Il-sung, which is Kim's grandfather, is the biggest holiday of the year. It is marked with military parades, mass dances, and performances. The year Kim Il-sung's birth is the first year of North Korea's own calendar system.
That's when the world began.
That's when it began. He's relatively young compared to his father, who was officially named successor to at age 42. So there are still, they say, this is what I was talking about, many elders in North Korea's party, cabinet, and military, and Un is too young to celebrate his birthday in front of them.
Ah, okay.
Dude. So what, you ignore the fact that it exists? He doesn't age? Is that what
you printed out this other story, and it has a ton of pictures of Un. Some of these are priceless.
Yeah, aren't they?
He's standing out of a submarine that's come above water there. He's standing all majestically and authoritatively.
Yeah. Oh, he was pictured on board a submarine as he inspected a Navy unit stationed on the east coast of the country last June. He was inspecting it. Yeah. These guys are have you seen the video of him flying the plane?
No, I see him sitting in a jet fighter though. He looks ridiculous. There's
video now of Kim Jong-un flying a plane. It's hilarious.
No way.
Yes, by himself. And
here he is sitting in it. He doesn't look like he knows the first thing about it.
Yeah.
Find one of those?
No.
Okay, just like a Cessna or something.
Here he is. This one. I cut the text off here. It says Un explains to these scientists how to run things in the lab.
Sure.
And it's him just sitting there in a lab coat talking to a bunch of lab coated doctors. Yeah, here it is, Jay. Check it out. Listen to the music. The sky with its blue on to fly the plane. And I own that he felt he was the removal of Comrade Commander.
This is like a passenger jet, right?
Yeah. Listen how excited this announcer is.
He's so amazing.
So they're acting like this guy's sitting next to him isn't flying the plane.
Right.
He's the one pushing the buttons, and Un's just got headphones on and he's steering. The plane ride is hard and dangerous because whenever flight training commanders with sweat on their hands and his family was not relieved. This doesn't even make sense. Look at him flying the plane.
I can't believe this guy exists.
Look at the dangerous flight path.
Oh, he's flying it so skillfully.
Look at him. He's pointing over here. Let's go over here by these mountains. This is like a 747. The Supreme Commander. Here he comes in to land.
Oh, yes.
Here he comes in. Notice the guy next to him who's actually doing all the work. I'm trying to just ignore the fact that he's actually flying the plane.
It's like, yeah, Un, you can take your hands off that now. It's irrelevant. Awesome.
Isn't that hilarious?
Look at this.
And then the guy Fires down the engines.
사령관 동지께서는 명천만한 하늘길을 나르시며 언제나 우리의 붉은 매들과 정수의
Good job, Boone. Way to go. Oh, can you imagine having to?
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
Good point.
Having to bow down to this asshole. Look at him on the what is that?
The ride
roller coaster.
Thrill seeker, they call him. Kim's a thrill seeker.
He smiles during a visit to the Chongji lubricant factory.
Oh,
check him out. Check out the worker next to him.
What?
He's just like fucking A.
Yeah.
Dude, Jay, that's their whole life. Their lifespan, they have to pretend this.
Yeah.
Until they're dead.
Look at him, solitary ride on a chairlift. just random. This dude just randomly doing shit, looking ridiculous.
Oh my God! Here he is smoking a cigarette in the command center.
Look at him with his tank helmet on.
He looks so retarded in that tank helmet.
I love this little guy. Look at him in full Putin pose on the back of the horse.
Oh yeah. Have you seen that video too? By the way,
no.
This video of him riding the horse is hilarious because they've inserted really, really bad sound effects of a horse galloping.
Like a Monty Python
It is.
Coconut deal.
Totally. It sounds ridiculous. He's like running on grass and you're getting the clickety clock like he's on cement. It's terrible. And it's played everywhere like he's is that the video? Maybe we can watch a second of it. You'll see. If that's the one I'm talking about.
Ride a white horse with sex symbol King Jong-un.
Sex symbol.
Wow, who's this handsome chubby dude with that killer hairstyle?
Oh, this has got to be
of
fake.
course. It's the one.
That's all right.
God, look at his hair though.
Yeah. Yeah, the one of him, the propaganda video of him riding the horse. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, if you find it, let me know. No big deal. It's just kind of funny.
Happy birthday, Yoon.
Yeah, happy birthday, my man. Gotta admit, it'd be kind of fun to party with him, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Wouldn't that be great to have him? I wonder if we could get him in here. E, you want to reach out to the Supreme Leader and see if we could get him on?
Yes, I will work on that.
Imagine E corresponding. It'd be like Rodman corresponding with him.
It'd be like the interview for real.
Yeah.
Is that it?
This music.
Yeah.
You want to dance with him, Anthony?
Oh, yeah.
Let's zip this ahead to where he's on the horse. See if we can find him on a horse.
Like this. Next Walters karaoke right here.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, they're not showing it. Yeah, I saw the video. It's funny. It's funny. Hey, we were talking about No Sag. Naginarb. What? What happened?
Nothing.
Earlier, and there's a story, and I assume this is he's got the same thing, brittle bone disease. I'm assuming that's what No Sag had.
He looks very similar to No Sag.
He does.
Cut from the same cloth, so to speak.
Right. Right. Well, Arizona resident Mindy Niss is happily married to 2'8" tall Sean Stevenson.
2'8". Wow.
2'8". How tall is 2'8"?
About yay big.
That's a little knee job, knee length.
Yeah, thigh probably. I mean,
yeah, mid thigh. Anyway, he says she's come out to say that he is one of the most sexual people she's ever met.
That, yeah.
Yeah. Just because he's disabled doesn't mean we don't have an awesome sex life.
Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah.
It was different than having sex with an average sized person, of course, but it wasn't a problem at all.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
The couple are both motivational speakers, met through a mutual friend and tied the knot in 2012 after she moved to Chicago to be closer to my man. And
he way overshot here. She's not bad.
No, she's skinny. She's pretty. Throughout their relationship, they were constantly targeted. And here's the reason we're hearing about this now. They were constantly targeted by online bullies who suggested he couldn't get the job done in the bedroom.
That's the constant message being sent. That's funny, man.
Yeah.
People are pigs.
They are.
You know, they look at those two and go, that guy ain't getting it done. You need me.
Yeah,
honey.
I'm the man. You think you can get it done with a 2'8" guy? I had to set the record straight. It wasn't love at first sight, but Sean is one of the most sexual people I've ever met. It's appalling to suggest that my husband cannot satisfy me sexually, and it's none of their business. Well, then why are you telling us? Stevenson was also left scratching his head, especially since he knows how much of a Don Juan he truly is behind closed doors.
Well, I'll bet.
Just ask him. Sex is probably the biggest part of my life.
The wee little life.
According to NIST, the 35-year-old has a wide array of tricks up his sleeve once the lights are dimmed. There are no limitations when it comes to sex. There's no position he can't manage, and I don't have to be extra careful. Wait a minute.
I bet he is a kinky little son of a bitch. Look at that guy.
There's no sex positions that they can't swing. 69, go.
Right. He's 2'8".
Come on. Say ridiculous shit like that.
You're going to bend yourself into that.
And
what are you, a jackknife?
Yeah. And all right. How about he pins you up against the wall?
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. Sex position.
How about he just bends you over?
Just
walks up and bends you over. Go ahead, little man. Get it done.
And you can literally
with
shit on his face.
Go ahead. Get it done with your panoose, little man.
What's she
positions
doing?
can they do?
She's just like, oh, doggy style. And she just lays down prone.
Right.
It's their version of dog style. I imagine there's a lot of supine and prone.
Well, or I have to have a footstool or something. Maybe if you guys could go on a stool.
Or a swing, just kind of swing him into her.
You think he's hung?
No.
You answered quick. I don't know if he is or not. They haven't said, but
They haven't said that that'd be in the article.
He's quite hung
for his size.
Yeah,
he's 1.5 inches,
yeah,
which is not bad for a 2'8"
exactly.
guy.
If it's proportional, oh boy.
Yeah. He does have brittle bone disorder. He was born with it.
So don't ask him to sharpen a pencil.
Right. By the time he was 18, he'd already suffered 200 broken bones in his legs, arms, neck, collarbone, ankle, femur, and nose.
Oh, I guarantee at least one of those was sharpening a pencil.
I was thinking the same thing. His worst accident, they say, came when he was sharpening a pencil. Bullshit. No. They say his worst accident ever came when he tumbled from his wheelchair while walking his dog.
Oh, gosh.
Now, wait a minute. Was he really walking the dog? It sounds like the dog was in complete control of this scenario, if you will.
Sounds like a chariot situation to me. Ben Hur.
Doctors treated him for get this.
Oh boy.
My man took a tumble out of his chair. No big deal. You know, spit on it. Rub some dirt in it. Little help over here. Little help. Treated him for a fractured skull, ankle, kneecap, thigh, and hip bone.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's something that's just part of my life, and it's also something that brings a lot of gifts, too. Nobody forgets Sean Stevenson after they meet him.
Nice third-person reference, my man.
Wow. And wait a minute. Whoa, what are the gifts that are given to him just that people don't forget him when they meet him? Who cares?
He's so remarkably wee that you can't forget him.
Have you forgotten No Sag?
I've not. Might be because he's in my wallet, but
true. He's not in my wallet, and I've never forgotten him. Yeah. Now, I think this is a little bit deceptive. She says there's nothing we can't do together in the bed, and I don't even have to be careful. You're telling me he falls from his wheelchair, from his chariot, or getting dragged by his dog, and that broke his head, his femur, his kneecap, his hip, and
there's nothing you can't do in the bedroom.
Nothing you can't do. We've seen it firsthand. A man shatter his arm sharpening a pencil, and you're telling me you're just tossing this cat around the room? No problems.
Bullshit.
I don't buy it. We're trying to find them. I'd love to talk to them, but they're not so easy to find, are they?
Oh, boy.
Oh,
God damn it, Timko.
He pulled up a midget with it who's kind of hung, and he's ripped. Look at those wee little arms. Oh, look at me wee arms.
That is such a strange look.
Good God. Midget
Oh,
porn.
no.
Oh,
No.
But it's not the same.
It looks like he's got two asses. One on his back and one on
It
his
really
ass,
does.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even that's not the same. I mean, a midget is one thing, but you're talking 2 foot 8 inches. Even a midget is usually like 4 feet.
Yeah, that's Tom Thumb territory, man.
Oh, there's my man. There's Wee Man.
Wee Man.
God, so weird.
Empty beer cans everywhere. Yeah.
It's just a weird. Yeah. We'll just leave that. We'll just leave that.
Weird.
Yeah, we'll just leave that. Like to hire him, but I don't know, man. Anyway, I took issue with that. But hey, why don't we call the Rev Al?
Yes, I'd love to.
What do you think? Should we do that?
We've been talking about it for long enough. Let's do it.
Yeah. I feel like it's time. Do we have some music for Al? And basically, we just want to see if we can hire him, you know, since we know he's on the take. We know that he'll take money to like leave your corporation alone. If you slip up at all, he's looking for any reason to weasel in there and take full advantage and play the race card immediately and take you down to Chinatown. And if you slip him a few bucks, maybe he'll shut up about it. So we thought, you know, we're a startup here. We could use the publicity. So why not bring Al over?
Will he do the inverse?
Will he do the inverse? Exactly. So why don't we give a buzz and see if we can't get someone on the horn from the National Action Network. Hello?
Hello? National Action Network. Hello. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Hi. This is.
The phone never rang. I didn't realize someone was on the line. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. This is Mike and Jay calling from the Detroit Cast. Is Al there?
No, he isn't.
He's not. Is he going to be in later?
No. And you're from where now?
Detroit.
Okay. And what did you need help? Are you experiencing a crisis issue?
Crisis, yeah. Somewhat.
Yeah, sort of.
So how can I help you?
Well, we were reading an article in the paper about Al and people shaking in their boots, afraid of him, and paying, you know, money to, you know, not get him to protest their companies and things like that. We were wondering if there was any way to do like a reverse version of that, and how much it would cost to get him to come out and picket somewhere.
Why don't you send that in email form to crisis@nationalactionnetwork.net? I'll make sure he gets that. Forward that request via email to crisis.
Have you seen this article?
nationalactionnetwork.net. Just go ahead on and email it over there so we can take care of it. All right?
Have you seen the article
email
we're talking about?
Crisis.
Whoa. Where?
Network.net.
Where?
Sounds like email once again. Please email your request to crisis.
So you're familiar with the article?
Network.net. You have a blessed day. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
You too. Hello.
Email at. She knows the article we're talking about.
Yeah, we got disconnected. We might have to call her back.
Something happened with the phones. Well, clearly that connection was strange because it didn't even ring on our end either.
Yeah.
National Action Network, how can I help you?
Yeah, hi. We were just talking to you a second ago and we got disconnected.
No, I was not talking to you. What is it reference to?
Well, we were talking to someone, but we were wondering how we get Al to come out and picket a place.
Al himself. It's important we have Al himself.
What did you want?
Skinny version, preferably.
Wait a minute. I'm talking to two people. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay, because you need to tell me that because I can hear different voices coming at me. Okay, So what is it that you want me to tell Reverend Sharpton?
Well, we were hoping we could get him and some people out here, maybe with some camera crews and stuff, to picket our organization.
Picket what organization?
Ours.
Sir?
The Detroit Cast.
In Detroit, you saying?
Yes, ma'am.
And you know what? I changed my mind. Can we get the heftier Al to come out?
What is the problem in Detroit?
Well, we're trying to grow our audience, and we feel like if Al comes by with some people and some picketing going on, it brings the cameras, and it would probably help us out. So we're just wondering what it would cost.
Okay, first of all, I don't understand why you would want somebody to picket in Detroit.
We just said
that's where we're at.
Yeah, we're trying to grow our audience, and it would be helpful.
You're in Detroit. You're saying that you're in Detroit right now, and you need Reverend Sharpton to come there?
Yes.
Immediately.
The fat version.
For what?
The heftier version, not fat.
To help us. We're not. Hello?
Uh-oh, another disconnection.
I don't think they want to help us.
The hairball. The hairball incident.
You keep going to the skinny version, the fat version.
I can't decide which I want. I mean, we got the split
how much would
screen.
it cost to get Al to pack on a few pounds and make his way over here?
Because I do prefer the heftier supple.
I do too. Long hair or short?
Though, sure, the long. Yeah, if he could grow his locks out.
Medallion, no medallion.
Medallion.
Mustachioed?
Mustachioed. Look at him, dude. He's got the red.
He looks like a rerun.
Very much.
Now, unfortunately, I don't think they're taking this seriously, Jay.
Try one more. Maybe we get a third operator. Maybe this one will be more helpful. Go.
God, even I'm uncomfortable at this point.
That's Action Network. How can I help you?
Yeah, hi. This is Mike and Jay calling from the Detroit Cast again. We keep getting disconnected every time we call.
Okay, you're calling from Detroit again, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me why are you calling and what is it that you want us to do, sir?
We were reading the article in the paper, in the Post, about how companies were afraid of Reverend Al and were paying him to not make a stink about their organization. And we were thinking, just creatively, a little out of the box thinking, that maybe it would help if we flipped the role and actually encouraged the protests.
And admittedly, that's out of the box.
It is.
What exactly happened in Detroit? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
We're just doing a show. I mean, it's kind of edgy a little bit. I don't know that it would normally fall into the category of something Al would protest. That's why we're not afraid to break out the wallets.
Moreover, if we could get a second price for like him to pack on some pounds and grow his hair out a little bit, because we prefer the supple Al Sharpton.
What kind of question? What do you mean? Are both of us in Detroit? Yeah, of course.
Okay, are both of you in Detroit?
Yes.
So what I just need a simple answer from you guys. I just need to know what is the issue in Detroit that you're disturbed about that I don't understand because I can't hear you well.
Our audience isn't big enough.
We would like Reverend Al, preferably the supple, larger with long hair,
it's
kind
negotiable.
of the straightened hair with the mustachioed look with medallion. We would like him